It sounds like a multi-million-dollar NASA project, a weather balloon shooting incredible video and still photos from 24 miles above the Earth's surface. But it's actually the brainchild of a cinematographer named Colin Rich, who pulled it off with a homemade device consisting of 2 secondhand cameras, some styrofoam, and duct tape. And he joins us exclusively from Los Angeles this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thanks very much for joining us this morning. The pictures are amazing, but let's go all the way back to the beginning. You move out to Los Angeles. How did you get this idea of putting some cheap cameras onto the bottom of a balloon and shooting up as high as you possibly could?
I think the idea kind of, it came out of just why not? And it was something I kind of wanted to do. Before I was doing different types of photography, I was doing a lot of time-lapse sequences, a lot of night photography, and I figured, you know, why not kind of push the boundaries a little bit? And I just kind of kept working on the idea and basically, how could you do it? How could you do it cheaply? And it kind of came from there.
Wow. So what kind of, what was in the balloon? What did you use to get the balloon that would go so high in the air?
Oh, it's helium. You could also use hydrogen as well, but it's a little explosive. So I tend to stay away from that. You're not going to get any real difference in altitude with it. So I just stuck with something that's a little bit more inert. All right. And so then you got the cameras, what, off of eBay? Is that right? Yeah, that's correct. A lot of these old PowerShot Canon cameras are on eBay, and you know they're dirt cheap, and you can use these things, and you can go through, and they actually have these programs that you can use to hack them.
Right.
And it's called CDHK, and when you go through and you actually use this program, basically you can tell the camera to do pretty much anything you want.
Wow.
And I felt like it was a pretty good system to use for this. So it seemed to work out.
It seemed to work out. All right. So now, how did you track it, though? Did you have a GPS system of some sort?
Yeah, a GPS system. It made everything a little bit easier. We had some problems initially with the first test, just in the fact that we were losing cell reception, and we were kind of bouncing around. It said it was in one place, and it really wasn't there. And then eventually kind of narrowed it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing goes 24 miles in the air. It takes these phenomenal photos. You track it down. When you started to look at the pictures, what did you think?
It was actually, I didn't look at them at first because I was just ecstatic that we actually found it. This is the second time we did it, and the first time, you know, it was a long trek to actually find it. But this time, when we found it, I was like, all right, let's just get back to the car. You know, let's get back there. I'm so excited. Right. I was with my buddy William Amundsen, and we didn't look at it at all. And then we get to the back of the car, open it up, and look at the cameras. The cameras are still running, and just completely blown away.
Wow.
I was so surprised at how well it looked. So
because the images are just phenomenal. I mean, in your wildest dream, if you were a kid, this is anybody could do this. I mean, it's not like it was horribly complicated, right?
It's not horribly complicated. There's a lot of things that you need to kind of take into concern beforehand. If you're going to be releasing a balloon, I mean, you obviously need to go through and realize that you should contact the FAA. Right. I mean, there are certain regulations, you know, stuff that you should take care of beforehand. But yeah, anybody could do this thing, and I think it's a wonderful project that schools should be engaging in. Sure. It just gets people to kind of think outside the box, and
way outside the box.
Hopefully, people. Absolutely, literally.
Yeah, and Colin, may I suggest to you, as you're thinking outside the box, maybe you could call either the Department of Energy or BP and let them know whatever ideas you're conjuring up about how to plug that hole in the bottom of the sea.
Yeah, maybe we'll put some weather balloons in it. I don't know.
Something. Colin Rich, phenomenal pictures and great fun. Thanks very much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you.
All right, good job.
A lot happens early on The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.